Pleasure.
Nice
Welcome
to meet you.
the site of Chichen Itza. Everything you see is archaeological evidence.
Everything.
Everything.
Okay. How big is this site?
It's really hard to tell. We don't have a full map of the site.
I know it took thousands of people to build sites like Chichen Itza. The Maya Empire was massive, encompassing parts of southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and the Yucatan. Many people think the Mayans died out completely, but they didn't. Even so, something forced them to abandon their major cities beginning around 750 AD and spread throughout the region or beyond to the United States.
Oh, wow. You know, from this perspective, it's just like symmetric. It's perfect. The lines are perfect. That's amazing.
They were copying the shapes of the mountains.
So what we're looking at here is really a man-made mountain. It was intentionally made to mimic the mountains. I've recently been to a site in North America in the state of Georgia. And one of the things that we did that was amazing, and I haven't seen the final results yet, but I saw some preliminary data, was some technology called LiDAR, where basically you fly over an area and it will collect three-dimensional data of the topography of the area. And what we think we see are remnants of man-made structures at the site that are somewhat reminiscent of what we see here. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on the possibility of contact with the Mayans here, possibly with native cultures in what is now the United States.
I think it's very possible.
Oh, you're saying that flat out. Okay, well, you agree with the speculation. If we really understand what the Maya did here, and if we really think there was contact, then what we do is take everything that we learn here and then use that as a guide to look for evidence over there.
Yes, yeah, I will agree. You can maybe find a Maya there, or you can find a Georgian down here. Well, this building that we have in front of us is the observatory, and it's been proven by astronomers that it's a structure that aligns the different positions of Venus and positions of the sun.
So those small little windows up there, they were used to track these planets, track Venus.
You know that this window aligns to this part of the year, and this one aligns to this time of the year. So there is a connection between architecture, astronomy, and the calendar.
Well, this is part of a science we call archaeoastronomy.
Right. The other thing that we believe is that creating a building that has alignments with the planets and the sun, you are creating a link between heaven and earth. So the building is the link between the two.
In Georgia, I saw a spiral mound. I also saw a boulder that had spirals carved into it. So the spiral is very important. It crossed Georgia, and it seems to connect over here with the Mayans. So maybe that's another connection or a piece of evidence we can tie together between the two cultures.
Yeah, I think it's a very strong element, and I think it's very important for the Maya too. It's in everything.
This was something that was found in Georgia.
I have seen similar carvings, or at least the head of the captive on this side. Yes, I think I can show you something similar at the site. You can tell that the person has some sort of a war instrument in his hand, like this one right here. He has also feathers in the back, like he has coming this way.
Right. Yeah.
But the most striking part is that there's a little head hanging from his left hand with the spear star. You can see that the head is almost identical to the one he has there, maybe a captive, maybe somebody who lost the war.
Really, everything that you talked about, I see here. This is pretty compelling, is it not?
But yeah, yes, I can see a relationship between the two sides.
I see a huge piece to a big puzzle of many cultures coming to North America prior to Columbus. And I think we can put the Mayans into that puzzle. And it just completely rewrites the history of North America as we know it. Okay, Alfonso, let's talk about what we have so far. We've got the temples here. We've got similar stone structures in Georgia. We've got the linguistic connections. We've got the iconography of the mural that's so fantastic it's virtually identical. We've got the archaeoastronomy. I tell you, we're starting to build a pretty strong case here. What can you tell me about Maya blue?
Let me show you. This is the sacred cenote of Chichen Itza.
It's huge. This is a giant sinkhole. It's just incredible.
Well, this is the most special place in Chichen Itza. This is where it gets its name. Chichen means the mouth of the sinkhole. That means a cenote. And not only is a water place, but it's also a sacred place to bring offerings.
What do we know about the bottom? What's on the bottom?
They found Maya blue, they found remains of children between 9 and 10.
This is crazy. Why would they throw children in here?
The belief is that children are the ideal messenger to the rain god. So when you want to please the rain god, you use children as offerings, so you sacrifice them.
Okay, wow. Geologically, I've read that down at the bottom of this cenote, there is a 4-meter or about 14-foot thick layer that is heavily laden with Maya blue clay. That represents a lot of material. How would that much Maya blue get in the bottom?
One good possibility will be that the children were painted blue before being thrown into the cenote. The other thing is that we have other types of sacrifices. The sacrifices that we know that happen in Chichen because we have a carving and a painting that shows a person leaning against a trapezoid stone so they can put pressure in the back and they can use a knife and slice the chest open, pull the heart out, and then offer it to the gods.
So they placed them on a rock to arch their body so when they made the incision, it would naturally open, and then they would go in. You know, I knew that they used the Maya blue in the murals and in some of the artifacts, the vessels and various things, but I had no idea that they were using it to paint the people for sacrifice.
Yeah, that's what we assume by the amount of Maya blue in the bottom of the cenote.
Is there any Maya blue, the original Maya blue, still on site here anywhere?
Oh yes, there's still some that we can see, and there's still some inside of the building.
I think the Maya blue could be the hard link between the Mayans and Georgia. As a geologist, it just might be the scientific proof I've been looking for.
This is a good example of Maya blue. You can tell it is around the square. Maya blue was used for painting buildings and painting offerings, and sometimes sacrificial victims.
My understanding is that the longevity of this material, why it lasts so long, is because it's made of a very special clay called palygorskite, combined with a blue dye or an indigo dye made from anil leaves around here. It resists acids, and it's very durable. Now, this type of clay we commonly see in cat litter. It causes clumping. We also see it in anti-diarrhea medicine because it absorbs the toxins. So this clay material is very unique. It creates a dye that lasts a very long time. How long has this pigment been sitting on this wall?
Well, the dates we have is about 900 AD. That will be about 1,100 years ago.
1,100 years ago.
Indeed.
So this unique clay, where would they get this source material?
I don't know. I haven't found a single source.
Yes, and that's another important piece to this puzzle that we're trying to figure out is we do have a very good source of palygorskite in Georgia, and this could be the source for the Mayans.